Hello students, welcome to BioSmart Academy YouTube channel. In today's lecture, we will going to discuss about a very important topic from biochemistry module, that is the basics of peptide bond. Okay, the basic of peptide bond. And before this lecture, we already uploaded 15 lectures on biochemistry. Please go and watch all that lectures. That will be beneficial for your CSI, NET, GATE, DBT and all other bioscience related entrance examination. Okay, we also uploaded many lectures on cell biology as well as immunology, developmental biology, so you can watch all that. Now, and another important thing is that this is a part one of the lecture of peptide bond. Okay, so let's start today's lecture. So first of all, we should know the definition of peptide bond, that is what do you mean by or define peptide bond. Okay, so what is peptide bond? So basically, just look at here. Okay, so basically when this is one amino acid and this is another amino acid, so when these two amino acid are linked through a bond, okay, so basically we can say when two amino acid molecules, that is you can say this is the amino acid number molecule 1 and this is 2. So when two amino acid molecule can be covalently joined, so basically this is a covalent bond can be covalently joined through a amide linkage and joined through a amide linkage. So this is basically a amide linkage. So basically when two amino acid molecules can be covalently bond and join through a amide linkage, then the term that we basically use is peptide bond. Okay, so this is the definition of peptide bond. Clear? Now, how this peptide bond is basically formed? Now remember another one concept. So basically this peptide bond is formed by the removal of water molecule, that is minus H2O, and we all know that this is a dehydration, or you can dehydration, or you can say condensation reaction. Okay, so basically this is a dehydration or condensation reaction. Clear? And another important thing is that the peptide bond is formed from the alpha carboxyl. So this is amino acid number 1. So from here, the alpha carboxyl group of one amino acid, here alpha carboxyl group of one amino acid, this is alpha carboxyl group of one amino acid, and from here the alpha amino group of another amino acid, So basically peptide bonds, so in a single word we can say that, in a single sentence we can say that peptide bonds are amide linkage formed between alpha amino group of one amino acid and the alpha carboxyl group of another. Okay, so you just write down the definition. Peptide bond are amide linkage. Peptide bond are amide linkage which is formed between alpha amino group of one amino acid and alpha carboxyl group of another, and alpha carboxyl group of another. Clear? And another important concept we basically see that this is an condensation reaction, that is removal of water takes place. Okay, so this is all about, you can say, peptide bond. Now I want to make you clear by drawing a basically amino acid structure so that you get more clear idea. Okay, see, this is amino acid number 1, that is NH3 plus, this is carbon, and this is OH, and this is H, and suppose this is R1. Okay, this is amino acid number 1. Okay, and here we draw basically amino acid number 2, that is C double bond O, here N, H, and this is H, and this is R2 you can say, and this is H. Okay, so this is amino acid number 1 and this is amino acid number 2. Okay, so from this amino acid, from amino acid number 1 OH molecule, and from amino acid number 2 H molecule is removed. So here basically you can say that is minus H2O, or you can say a condensation reaction is occur. A condensation reaction is occur. Condensation reaction is occur. So in this way, this is the amino acid number 1 and 2, and from this both the amino acid, from amino acid 1, that is the alpha carboxyl group, from where the hydroxyl group is removed, and from the alpha amino group, from where the hydrogen atom is removed, and by combining this water molecule is removed, that is a condensation reaction is basically occur. So in this way basically the bond that is basically formed is the peptide bond. So what will be the final structure of the peptide bond? Just note down the final structure. So this is the C, this is the H, this is the R1, and this is remain as it is, NH3 plus. So only C double bond O. Okay, only C double bond O, and here N and H will be remain. H will be remain, and all the structure will be same. H, this is R2, and this is C double bond O minus. So from this, the bond that is basically formed is the peptide bond. Basically, we're going to see in black. This is the peptide bond. That is what? That is CONH. So this is the basically peptide bond, that is CONH, and this is the basically amide linkage. Clear? Now I hope that you got a clear idea about what is peptide bond and how this peptide bond is basically formed. Okay, another important thing is that as condensation reaction takes place, so I hope that you note it down. Okay, just take a screenshot. Now next, so basically it is an exergonic process. It is an exergonic process. Exergonic process. Just note it down for your 2 marks question. Okay, so we all know that in exergonic process, del G will always positive. So it is basically 20 kilojoule per mole its energy. Okay, that is Gibbs free energy. Clear? And another important thing is that you have to note down that this process, this condensation reaction occur very slowly. This condensation reaction occur very slowly. Why? From your concept of enzyme, you know that those reaction which does not catalyze by enzyme, they have what? High activation energy. Okay, EA means activation energy, and due to having high activation energy, the reaction becomes slow. And due to this, as a result, the peptide bond, just note it down, the peptide bond in protein are stable, the peptide bond in protein are quite stable. Okay, are stable. with an average half-life, that is T half, is about almost 7 years. 7 years. Okay, is almost 7 years. So this is the concept. Okay, so basically it is an exergonic process. So we know that is del G, that is Gibbs free energy, is always positive, and as the condensation reaction occur, the reaction occur very slowly, and slow reaction means what? High activation energy, and as a result peptide bond is basically quite stable structure, and due to this the half life is basically very high, that is 7 years almost in intracellular condition. Okay, in intracellular condition. So student, I hope that you learn many things from today's lecture. Okay, now another important thing that you should know. Okay, see, if we talk about two amino acid joined through a peptide bond, it is known as what? Dipeptide. Dipeptide. Okay, dipeptide. Dipeptide. Dipeptide means two amino acid linked by single peptide bond. Okay, similarly, when three amino acid linked by two peptide bond, it is known as what? Tripeptide. Tripeptide, and so on. And so on. Okay. Now, in this way, when few amino acids are joined in this fashion, suppose 2 to 9 amino acids, okay, are joined in this fashion, we can call them as oligopeptide. Clear? Okay. Now, when many amino acids are joined, many amino acids are joined, that is, you can say almost 100, 200 amino acids are joined, then we call them as polypeptide. Clear? Now I hope that you got a clear idea about the concept of dipeptide, tripeptide, and so on, about the oligopeptide and about the polypeptide. Okay. Now another important question arises that many students got confused that polypeptide or protein are same, or you can say protein or polypeptide same. Many students got confused. Okay, so basically what is the exact difference between polypeptide versus between protein versus polypeptide? Okay, so what is the difference between protein and polypeptide? Because we know that in case of protein many amino acids are joined together, then it forms protein, while in case of polypeptide many amino acids are joined together, then it basically formed polypeptide. Then what is the exact difference between polypeptide and protein? Okay, so basically one difference is that protein are those proteins are those molecules, just note it down, whose molecular weight protein are those molecules whose molecular weight have higher than 10,000 Dalton, 10,000 kilodalton. Okay, while in case of polypeptide are those molecules whose molecular weight are below 10,000 kilodalton. So basically you can say this is a one difference between protein and polypeptide, that is protein are those molecules whose molecular weight are higher than 10,000, or you can say polypeptide are those molecules whose molecular weight is below 10,000. Clear? So this is one difference. Another difference you can say is that, just note down, is that polypeptide you can say a long chain of amino acid. Polypeptide is a long chain of amino acid. Clear? While, see, polypeptide is what? Polypeptide is a long chain of amino acid. Clear? While a polypeptide a polypeptide that fold into definite 3D structure definite 3D structure 3D structure is called protein. Okay, so a polypeptide is called a protein, or you can say a polypeptide can be called as protein when it basically fold into a definite 3D structure or into its native 3D or into its native form. Then it will be known as protein. Okay, this is another difference between polypeptide and protein. Clear? So from all this conclusion, we can say that all proteins are polypeptide. Okay, but not all polypeptide are protein. Okay, so all proteins are polypeptide. Why? Because polypeptide basically fold into definite 3D structure. Then we call it protein. But in case of polypeptide, not all protein can be called as polypeptide. Okay, because there are many polypeptide which will not going to form its 3D structure and can be called as protein. Okay, so this is the basic difference between the protein and the polypeptide. So student, this much for today's lecture. Okay, tomorrow we will going to discuss about the isoelectric point of peptide. Okay, we already discussed the isoelectric point charge calculation for amino acids. Okay, we discussed the isoelectric point for each and every amino acid. Actually, we discussed the isoelectric point for polar amino acids, non-polar amino acid, all this. Okay, in our previous lectures. Now we have to discuss the isoelectric point for peptide as well. Okay, so on our next lecture we will going to discuss about the isoelectric point of peptide, how we can calculate isoelectric point of peptide at different pH. Okay, we will discuss on our next lecture. Okay, and after that we will discuss Ramachandran plot, and then we basically jump into structure of protein, that is primary, secondary, tertiary and quaternary. So if you like this lecture, please share as much as possible, and please subscribe BioSmart Academy YouTube channel. Till then, thank you.